Hi guys, this is White Seasons here with another video. This one's gonna be a little bit different. This one's a fire alarm video. You can already tell because of the pole station right here. Today we're gonna try to see if we can get this fire alarm system running again. Now it just moved, so this system hasn't ran for a long time, so we want to try to get it running. And before we get it running, first thing we want to do is replace this annunciator switch. Second thing is to put a new cover on here. You know what I mean? And then third thing is to put a new battery in and flick on the breaker, cleaning the service switch for the breaker panel. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and unlock the annunciator switch so we can go and replace that. Now on this cover is an outdoor cover, so it can easily be removed like this. There you go. And then there's a screw right here and a screw right here that we have to undo. So I'm going to go and undo it. Now we got the switch out. Now we want to take this off. And I'm going to try to do this with one hand. You just want to try to take it off. Now we have two wires. Normally these two would be black wires because normally this would be in your wall switch. But we're going to loosen these two screws and then pull it off. And there's the switch already apart out of the annunciator box. There's two wires for the annunciator. Once again, this is a homemade fire alarm system, so I'm just replacing the switch that I got from a hardware store a long time ago. And no wonder why the cover plate wouldn't work on here anymore, because the threads in here are stripped. You have two options. You can thread this, or what I'm actually going to do is that I'm going to spend a few extra dollars and replace the switch. Now the next thing we want to do, we're going to bypass this step for now because I haven't got a new annunciator switch yet. So next thing we want to do to get the system going is see if these breakers work. Because sometimes they can get dust in it and then they don't work anymore. And you're thinking, what? AC breakers? Well, even though they're AC breakers, it still runs off of a 9-volt service right here. So, and the AC breakers is not meant to have 120 in them anyways. If I got that correctly. So first thing we have to do is take the breaker out to be able to take the breaker out to be able to test them. And I'm going to show you why. So, first thing you want to do is remove this screw right here. To save time in the video, I'm going to actually remove it off camera. So I'll do that right now. So there's the circuit breaker right here. So to test this, all you have to do is turn on the circuit breaker. And you just get, because there is a thermal device and all that in there, so to test this, all you do is you get like something to hit it. You get like a screwdriver and just hit it. And the breakers are tripped. The reason why it trips when you hit it, because if there's an earthquake, it's designed to trip all your breakers just so that nothing sorts out and causes a fire. So then what you're going to do is push it off, turn it back on, and that resets it. So now it's time to install this back in the panel. Now with a little bit of editing magic, I took out the breaker, tested, reinstalled it. So now it's time to reinstall this breaker. So all you have to do is put this wire in. What this breaker actually does, this is actually a square D breaker. You want to keep that in mind because sometimes you can get the wrong breaker and it can cause a, like especially if you're running 120 volts AC for example in them, it can actually cause a fire. And that wouldn't be good. So you want to make see what type of breaker you have, if it's a regular breaker or a square D breaker. I have a square D breaker. So on these types of breakers, you have to put the wire in between the two metals and then tighten the screw like that. So I'm going to do that. Now since back inside in the panel, you want to go in the bottom, try to clip the bottom here, like so, and then clip it in the top to make the connection. That's on, that's off, that's on, that's off. So now the next thing you want to do is install the cover or faceplate. So to do that, you want to make sure the stick goes on the top. Put it between the two metals right here and try to fit it in. Just like that. And then you want to take the screw and start by end. You don't want to take the screwdriver and start turning it, because that can cross thread it and that wouldn't be good. So you just turn it like that. Just like that. You just turn it by hand and then finish up with the screwdriver. So I'm going to do that off camera to save time in the video. Now, with the breakers installed, the power installed, give it a quick test, the main and the pole station breakers, and that seems to be fine. So now, let's move on to installing our new annunciator switch. And then after that will be the cover plate for this junction box right here. And as for that I'm going to cover in another video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cover back on here, just so nothing happens, there's no wire caps or anything, just so if it somehow gets powered for any reason, it doesn't, because 9 volts can give you like a little bit of a shock, like 9 volts DC can give you like a little bit of shock. So what we're going to do is tighten this by hand by the top screw. Then put our cover plate on. Cover on. Then screw the bottom one on. Like so. Then what you need to do is take your screwdriver and screw it. 1 second, I need to get a better screwdriver. 1 second. Okay, got a better screwdriver, so I'm going to screw it in like so. And then put the screw away here, like so. Try and do this with one hand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this side of the cover back on here, so we can actually lock this, because I don't have any wire caps. Get the top one right here. Good, and then shut it. Good. So now this is closed, so I can able to put a lock on here because of the wires. Now I just got back with the supply, so we want to take this cover off again. So once again, take that off. And then we want to loosen this screw just a little bit, but we went to remove the bottom screw Remove this screw just a little bit. Now we want to remove the bottom screw right away. Remove it all the way. We won't need this screw anymore because I just got a new annunciator switch. So that's removed. And then we just have to remove this top screw right here. Like so. And now it is getting pretty late out, so I'm going to cut the camera and we're going to work on this tomorrow morning. Alright guys, we are at the next morning. So now we're going to put the new annunciator on. And yes, you can see the wires right here. We went into emergency at 1 o'clock this morning, but that's going to be another video. So now we're going to replace the, put in the new annunciator switch. So with the new annunciator switch, there's like two plates right here. You can either wrap the screw around here, or stick the wire between the plate, the inside the behind the plate, and screw it down, or you can stick it in the back right here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stick it behind the plate and tighten it. So I'm going to do that now. Now, with the new switch in, we want to put the cover on. I'm going to try to do it with one hand again. I'd say probably easier to do it like this. Like so. Now we want to hold this up here and slide a screw here through the bottom one and then screw it in. So I'll do that now. Now we got the switch in, so we want to add the plate, and this does a screw down here and a screw up here. Then you want to screw in. Now we got the new switch and new cover plate on, so now it's time to snap this on. It's very easy. So it snaps in on the bottom like this, snaps in on the top like this, and then it should close. See, that's open, that's closed. There's the annunciator right there. Now the last thing we have to do is add a cover plate right here. So that's going to be easy to do. You just grab the cover plate, you line it up, and then you have to put a screw in here and a screw in here. So I'll do that. Now we have the cover plate in. So now it is time to install that battery and get the system running again. Now, we do have to sync the system right through. So, we're going to be using this pole station and this box to sync it. So, we're going to be doing this. I'm just opening it up here to get the model number on a Edwards 270 plow. You can see it right there. So, we want to take the cover over here, and before we do anything, we want to reset this, and reset this. Good. And then, we want to grab the battery, Made sure put the polarity right and insert it just like so. And now it's flashing. So now, here comes the big step. Turning on the service switch. Going here, main breaker on, power station breaker on. Boom! That is exciting. Okay, I never been this excited before. Okay, so now we want to open this power station because we will have to sync it. So to sync it, all you have to do on this system is you have the control panel right here. You can only do it by the control panel. So you have to take the switch and you have to flick it on 8 times. There you go. That was 8 times, and you want to end in the off position. That right there, when we pull the power station in, what I'm actually going to do is hotwire this to sync this through, and then we should be good. So to sync the power station, you have to make sure it's open. If you don't open it, you don't, and you pull it, you might not have a screwdriver to reset it because there's a little screw right here that you have to undo and to reset this thing. And yes, you heard me right, because when you pull this thing, you can't reset it, so you actually have to open them up to reset them. So we'll just flick that on, and we're just going to flick on really quickly, let it beep once, shut it right off. Ah, that was a fail. Okay, normally you would have to do that, but that's typically normally that would happen if something's not connected properly. So I'm going to look into it and get back to you guys. Sometimes you know what the problem is, sometimes it doesn't make a connection here, so we're going to try it again. Ready? There we go. Now that's synced through. Okay, turn that off. Now, so never do this with the power on. But I'm going to, now if you don't feel confident working on these electric things yourself, I would recommend you hire a licensed electrician. But now, even though this wire is thin, shouldn't burn up and melt. Should not. So now, with that hot wired, and sync that box. 3, 2, 1. Okay, something just happened there. Oh, that's why. You had to turn on the service switch for the box. I forgot about that. Okay, with the service switch on. Ready? There we go. That box is synced through. So now the way I just synced it, this power station is zone 1. This box is going to be zone 2. So now we just want to cap this. Okay, so that's off. Okay, so that's reset, which is this. And let me show you. With the system on silence, see when you pull it, you can't reset it, no matter how many times I try. So you have to actually open it up, turn it off, and then close it like this. So now, with the pulse station reset, this box is reset, we're gonna reset the system. That's very easy. We're gonna turn back on, and the system is reset. So that's, my guys, is how you get a system running that's been sitting for a long time. This system hasn't ran since August of 2020. Now, if your system doesn't run from 1 month or longer, you want to do these steps to get it running again. But that's it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll link my social medias in the description below. Thank you.